Hi guys, Friction RC here. How you doing? Thought I'll do a different way of doing this video, mainly because most of you guys have your own man cave, as it were. I don't. I'm just making a mess everywhere, and it's annoying mile and a half. But I need to clear it up. Anyway, today's video is going to be a bit of me talking, but hopefully you'll like it. It's going to be split up into two. I'll try and do it in one vid. If I can't, I'll have to move it into two, but you might enjoy it. So, for those of you who've seen my Facebook page, I've got Friction RC Facebook page. I put a little vid in there, and it's called Stuck on You by Huey Lewis and the News. And yep, the purpose behind that video is to talk about stickers and decals. I got into this hobby. Part of the reason I got into like customizing body shells was watching and looking at drift RC cars, and some of the decals were just amazing. I really loved the kind of Japanese kind of bosuzoku, however you pronounce it, scene. So anyway, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few shout outs and plug a few people. Then I'll talk about my next big piece of news. So first of all, hold on a sec, I've done this right. I've got my iPad ready with some notes on it, so I'm not going to miss anyone or anything. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I should be looking at the camera now, is my Mercedes-Benz Drift RC shell. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Some of you have seen me make this and do the painting and the upgrades. But a few things behind it. Obviously, the shell itself I've painted silver with the Finnish flag in blue. That's to represent my favourite driver, F1 driver of all time, Mika Häkkinen. He's Finnish. Obviously, the Finnish flag has got a blue cross in it. It's a white background. However, he raced a lot with Mercedes. During that time, the colour scheme was silver and black, I believe. He also raced in DTM, and again, some of his cars he raced in were silver, hence the silver background with the blue cross. What I wanted to do was to build a custom designed shell painted with decals that I can get Mika to sign. And I'm on a Drift RC Facebook group, and a lot of people have been saying, speak to these people if you want number plates, speak to these people if you want decals. So first of all, the number plate. Hopefully this will focus. There we go. So as you can see, it's got BMH-68. And if I hold this up, where are we? Along here. Let's try and focus this a bit. There we go. That's better. And hold it steady. You can see the Finnish flag and a symbol. So a bit of background about these number plates. There's one in the front and there's one on the back. So the number plate represents the black background, and the white lettering represents when he was born in 1968. This is Mika Häkkinen. The color scheme for the number plate was white letters on black background. So obviously when I was looking at getting some designed up, that's the first thing I looked at. I did a bit of research. This wasn't just me just making stuff up. And that's the kind of way, if you type in 1968 Finland's number plates, you'll see cars that look a little bit like this. The 68 bit obviously represents the year of birth. MH represents Mika Häkkinen. And you'll see the letter B. So the letter B represents what is now the area that used to be where Mika Häkkinen was born and grew up. So what happens in some countries, we don't really get it in the UK, but in some countries, now I'm from Sri Lanka, was born here, but my folks are from Sri Lanka. You get different annotations on the number plate based on whereabouts in the country you're from. So I had to do a bit of research, work out where he was from, and obviously the number plates have changed since then, and worked out that where he was born and where he grew up was amalgamated into a new area, of whom the number plate letter is B. So you've got Mika Häkkinen, the year he was born, and the location as it is now, B. You'll also see two other bits on there. The Finland flag. Obviously, this isn't original because the original number plates in 68 didn't have anything like that, but I thought I wanted to do it. It's customized. And you'll see a little symbol. Now, the symbol represents the symbol for Sisu or Zizu. I'm hoping I pronounced that properly. It's the Finnish for like meaning strength, courage, the power of will and courage in adversity. You know, you can overcome anything. Now, I kind of got that. I'm a huge Top Gear fan of the original lot. And I remember him driving Captain Slow around and he was talking about Sisu. Now, I'm hoping that's what the symbol means. And it's not like, you know, when people misinterpret Chinese symbols and that's a symbol for a yak or something. But from what I can see when I've gone online and done a bit of research, that is it. And obviously, Mika Häkkinen, as you know, is the epitome of that kind of strength in adversity, courage. It's one of the many, many reasons why I like that man. He is a legend in my eyes. I don't like when people say it. I generally use the term legends and, you know, heroes for armed service personnel, frontline staff like doctors and nurses who actually save people and try and come up with cures. But every now and again, you'll get someone who, like Niki Lauda, he's another legend and a hero of mine. But, you know, for me, number one is Mika Häkkinen. Now, these number plates were created by Dimension RC. They have a link on eBay, really cheap. I'm going to find the link and put it below this video. So that's Dimension RC, who very kindly, when I explained what I wanted, he gave me some examples. He was really happy to help out. He literally knocked this up within a day or two, and not even that. It was so quick, and I'm so happy that he did it because, like I said, it is a custom plate. I haven't seen anyone else with this kind of look on their cars, RC cars, as far as I know. Definitely not one for Mika Häkkinen. So that's that. Then we've got the decals. So if you have a look, you've got the flying fin and the shark. You've got some of this kind of fancy blue kind of lightning bolts, and all along the side, as you can see, the flying fin, and down at the back. Now, all these kinds of decals here, leave aside the mobile ones, all these kinds of things were created, including obviously the small ones as well, were created for me by, let's just get this up, Team ZeroMax RC. So what I did was I explained to the guy what I was planning to do. He was more than happy to help out. He was like, obviously, you know, he was like, oh, that's such a wicked idea. And he said, give me some ideas. So I trawled and had a look around. I wanted the look, obviously this is a Mercedes-Benz DTM. Again, linking it to Mika Häkkinen because he drove for Mercedes. Well, he drove for McLaren as well, but he also drove for Mercedes-Benz. I went back and had a look at some of the kind of sponsorship decals and logos that Mika Häkkinen was using on his cars and other cars at the time, German DTM cars. And I spoke to ZeroMax RC. I gave him an idea of what I wanted. So I wanted that kind of robot looking shark. I wanted it to have the words "the flying fin." Obviously, Mika Häkkinen's, or everyone Mika Häkkinen knows by. And this guy, I'm no word of a lie, within a day or two, he came up with all of these. Now, on my Facebook page, I'm going to put up everything that I'm talking about. So each of the designs, what they came up with, so you can see the kind of quality and the designs and how good it was. Literally what I had in my mind, this guy managed to put out. I'm so impressed. And not only that, he himself, when I said what I wanted to go with and kind of era and decade that Mika Häkkinen was driving in, I sent him some photos of some of the cars and what they look like, DTM cars and sponsorship. He actually pulled out some sponsors that would have been on his car. So as you know, if you're an F1 fan or DTM, you'd recognize Tag Heuer, you'd recognize Boss, you know, AMG, obviously AMG Power. So this guy, as you can see, he's not only done he did it in such a way you could have one on either side. He also did a bit on the bonnet as well as the rear corners and the back end itself. So all these decals he put together on like an A3 sheet. send it to me, and I swear I was literally what I had in my mind, he managed to put out, and I am so grateful for that. So what am I going to do next with this shell? As some of you know, some of you might not know this, but some of you I've sort of banged on about it long enough. I am going to get Mika Häkkinen to sign this. Hopefully he will and return it. Get him to sign it, and then I've got some clear coat. It's going to go a layer of clear coat on top, and you know, there you go, my own custom design. Well, custom design isn't custom paint job, decals. Mika Häkkinen sign it. Job done. Now, I've realised I've written on for 10 minutes, so this is going to be maybe a 3-part vid. Just bear with me, because I have another one to talk about. So let me just hit